Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's G here. I know, I've been gone. I've been missing you. I hope you've been missing me. I have been busy. I have been working, actually. I led a tour here in Italy, which was really great. I've also been starting a business making bags, crocheted bags, and I'm working on some other things. And so I just haven't had like the mental space to chat. But I'm back and I'll be posting regularly again and working on things while we chat. You know, a lot of my topics are responses to things that men and women are experiencing culturally, dating, whatever. One of the things that strikes me over and over again is this conversation around women being submissive. Now, let's have a little chat about the real reason that so many men want women to submit. Guys, subscribe to my channel and let's get into this.
Let me introduce myself. I'm that woman that you can't find twice. I promise you that.
The funny thing about this conversation to me is that so many men will say it's the natural order of things. Women are supposed to be submissive to men. Women are naturally submissive. But is that true? I really think that men are actually the ones who are naturally submissive. And let me tell you why. Here's the thing. I gotta get comfortable. Throughout history, as the rise of the patriarchy started, men, the more control that they had in society and everything like this, men actually made laws to diminish women, to make women have no rights, have no say so, have no ability to actually have a voice, right? So if we talk about more modern times, women didn't have the ability to vote. Men have used violence against women in order to get them to not, well, be themselves, right? From way back in the day when they were hanging witches or, you know, burning them at the stake and all of those sort of things. Men have been trying to force submission on women for a really long time. And the truth of the matter is, it's because they're the submissive ones, aren't they? Men, in any situation where it's all men, someone needs to dominate and someone needs to submit, even among men, right? So men, they always look to that one, what word do they like to use? Alpha, to submit to. That is how so many of these manosphere, blah, bros, whatever, actually get famous, actually get men to submit to them. So in these institutions that men have created where it's just them, they create hierarchies of submission, right? There's always the one on top and all of the other men are supposed to submit to them. Now they're all climbing and competing with each other to try to be the man on top, right? But that requires for the other men to submit. And that's what they see with women, is competition for submission. And that is why now that women have rights, women are working, women are making their own money, women are doing all of the things for themselves and saying, well, you know what, if you're not going to be a good partner, if you're not going to like actually find balance in my life and help me, if you're not going to make peace, if my peace alone is better than having you in my life, I'm gonna choose a cat in peace versus a man in submission, right? But men don't understand this new world order in relationships because they've always had law on their side to say women have to do what we want them to do. We don't have to be good people to have a woman in our lives. Now women have gained more power in society and women are saying, no, you have to actually make it interesting for me to give up my peace to deal with your ass, right? So that's why there's so many manosphere boys. There's so many red pillars because they found the man that they're willing to submit to, the one at the top who's telling them, it's the women's fault that you don't have this power in your life. They're looking to that dude, and their dude is telling them women are the ones that they need to compete with now, because women have entered the same fields as them. They have outsmarted them in so many ways. They have done all of these things that have made them, well, efficient, self-efficient, and they're starting to see how powerful women can be, period, without these rules over them to make them submissive. It's just like any situation where you're in a cage, right? If you're in a cage and you want to get out of that cage, or you don't want to die in that cage, you do things differently than you would if you're on the outside of the cage with the key. You know, like if you got the key in your pocket and someone threatens you to put you in a cage, you're like, well, I got the key. You know, like, and I can leave. I don't have to stay here with these threats. And men don't understand that more and more women are opting alone versus these other ideologies that they have, and competing with men, because we're not interested in that. If you want to compete with someone, keep doing what you're doing. Stay in the manosphere. Compete with one another for another man's attention and approval. Because even in this idea of women submitting to them is so that they can prove to these other men that they are strong over a woman, because this gets them male approval. So what we conclude about men who are super obsessed with women submitting to them is that they actually prefer men. And I don't necessarily mean that they are sexually attracted to men or whatever, but they prefer men. They prefer men's approval. They're working towards that. And they also don't feel like they can compete with other men for this idea of alpha. They can only try and compete with women who they see as a weaker sex or gender to try and, what is it? So they only see women, because they see them as weaker, as the competition that they can actually win against, right? So they feel like, okay, I can win against a woman, I can get male approval, and I will be, well, accepted by who? Men. Guys, these revelations will set you free. I'm obviously still looking into like what's happening across like relationships and culture and things, and I will still be talking about that. I have new content planned. So make sure you subscribe to my channel, because I have some plans in the next couple weeks with another person here, and we're going to be talking about some of the differences between America and dating in Europe and like on the continent, all kinds of really interesting content, and I can't wait to get into some of those things. But I will be back posting regularly, so guys, subscribe, and ciao for now.